Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Okay. Carol just said her account's up over 1% today. She has some SLV she bought down here on one, so she's doing good, and that's great to know. Um, Let me ask you, do you think you're getting everything you should be getting out of what you're doing in the market? I'm just curious how everybody feels about that. Are you maximizing everything you should be getting out of the market? Peg says, since I got the roadmap, I am. I agree with Peg. Roz says no. What do you think the problem is, Dave and Roz? Y'all not getting everything. What do you think the problem is? It you know, we put out a lot of different ways to make money. Uh, Neil says yes. Okay. Debbie says no. Steve says I'm still learning. Yeah, the real key, let me tell you, the real key is you have to dedicate yourself to the education side of it before all the stuff comes your way. And we have a lot of information out there, and I think that if you pace yourself and uh, and do that, you'll see improvement. I know you'll do a lot better than most people because what we teach works. It starts with the roadmap and MTI and all the different things that go into it. Today's Tuesday. Uh, I think that, but you have to ask yourself what you could do to be better. Okay. And I would have a list of things that I would make to focus on to learn about this week. If you do something every week that way, I think you're going to find out you'll do a lot better. Um, a lot of things go into being able to make money. One has to be knowledge of the playing field. Okay. Uh, so let me ask this question, and we'll get into the presentation. What are what would you say that you know a lot about? It could be any subject. I just want to see what everybody here has spent their time in their life really learning a lot about. Just type that in here. I'm just curious. Be anything. What do you really know a lot about? Okay. Pacing yourself, Joe says. That's great, Joe. Well, whatever it took, let me just say this, whatever it took to get you to that level of passion and confidence on what you're really good at, you got to apply in the market that same approach. Okay. That same approach. You have to apply yourself in that same first. That is to me helps you reach your potential, I think. And you got to focus. You got to focus. Anyway, I wanted to ask that question, but I'm trying to show you what you're really good at, how much time you put in it to be really good at that versus trading. Okay. That's what it takes. This is a tough game, trading. And I say that over and over again. There's risk involved. When you're putting your money on the line, there's risk involved. No way to cut it any other way. But thank you for being here today. And past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion. I'm going to introduce something that everybody here can make a lot of money on. That, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, so when you learn what I'm going to teach you, it's so valuable. It is just so valuable. And it's something I came up with. I've been working on it. I worked on it with Carol. Carol left here with it. I worked on it with Class Lou. Now I've got it formulated, and it's pretty powerful to take advantage of what's happening in the silver market. So, and I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but I might do it. It might cost you some money to get it because it definitely required a lot of extra time to put it together, trade it out. But I'll let you know when I get it ready to go for prime time. It's not ready for prime time right now. Okay, it's close, but it's not ready. That's my opinion. Now, silver's at new highs today. Went up 95.77. Did everybody enjoy yesterday when I said silver's up 6%? You can apply that to your SLV, and it'll tell you where it's going to be Tuesday morning. And then I showed people with options how they could calculate how much they were going to be up based on that 6% rise. This is a pure play, right? And I think that really puts people in a what I would call a great position, if that makes sense. A great position. Okay. Now, our newsletter's going out this afternoon. Pretty powerful newsletter. I've got a special report that I'm going to attach to this, Jonathan. And so the special report will be on the metals. I've got a list of some stocks I'm going to give people to start watching, create a dashboard for, okay, in the newsletter. And we'll post it in the room where they'll have it. All right, it's Monday and Friday. What are we going to do? I've got an alert on GDX at 102. It's currently 102.24.
Yep.
And I might as well go on and give you this trade, Jonathan. I think.
Yeah, that's why I clicked over to it because it just happened.
Yeah, it just went into a buyer. Let's do a 102, 105 call spread out 30 or more days and put it in every trade we do in here, we put in our T-Buzz Talking Trade. Let's do a 102, 105 spread on GDX.
I need to use a limit order for that because it's a little wide, but it's $1.20 to $1.25.
I'll pay $1.25.
Yeah, don't you try to get it $1.10 or so first, and then bump it up as needed. It's a little wide.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay higher than $1.25. Work it if you want to. It's a good trade. I've been watching it all morning. I'm actually long the stock, and I think it's going to 110. So anyway, that's the target. But first stop will be 105. Expiration date will be 30 plus days. Jonathan, how many days you going to go out?
That's Feb 20. That's Feb 20. I just posted it in the chat. It just took me a little while.
Feb 20.
That's the one.
Now, for the life of me, I don't understand why our numbers are not growing, because we should have about 500 people in here with me handing out money like this. Very frustrating on my part to do all this and not have the people appreciate it by showing up and taking this money I'm handing out like Mardi Gras. Here's some candy. I go into TNT room if you didn't hear it. Yeah, we might do Instagram. That's a good idea, Yasmin. Thank you for that suggestion. Y'all know anywhere else you can dial in at 11 and get paid? I want to know the number because I want to call him. Give me that number to call those people handing out money. Anyway, that's a trade alert. GDX at 102. Go back to that slide, let him read it, John. That's pretty quick. I didn't even read it myself.
Yep, it's posted in the chat as well. Sure is. Just scroll up a little ways. Should be able to see it. Put an expiration
date, you got it in there.
I think I left that one out. So what happens when you try to multitask?
That's why we slow down and do it right. February 20th was the date. It's a 3 wide spread. Absolute max you can pay is $1.50, but you could probably get it $1.25 if you work it. All right, let's move on to the 3-day algo.
Updated this at 10:57 right before we went live.
Crude, gold, and silver are long. Bonds are short. TLT short. That means anchor might be setting up. Okay. What else you got down there below? You got a bunch of longs there. XBI, AGQ, SLV. Those are, what's the related? Hey, from AGQ to GLD, by the way, you need to add GDX to this when we get a chance, but metals are hot, aren't they? Apples are short. We talked about that. All right, what's below that?
Looks like Google is kind of the only standout from the Mag 7.
Yep.
For short. AMD's long though, Micron.
General Motors turned south. If you got that, I got out of mine this morning. NNE still long. I like that. Oh, I want to show you something. Jonathan, you have a slide separating what I asked you to highlight, the lows and the highs for some of these?
Yeah, I do. We can get to
Okay,
that.
we'll go to that next. Let's go to that next. We can. Folks, one thing you get out of the almanac, they talk about December lows. And what I did is I went and started looking at this. I said, okay, if you look at it and you look at December highs, December lows, you can see the December high was 69.94 was the high. The low was 67.71. We haven't got back down to that level. Current price now, when you did the slide, was 68.71, but it's 68.95. Typical Trump fashion, things are getting nicer for people. Deals are being made. There's the NASDAQ future. These low prices in December are good to trade off of, or in crude oil. You know, 50 was its high. We're about around that right now, aren't we, Jonathan? On crude? Yeah. Yeah, 60.28. So keep your eye on crude. It might be turning into a sell. Gold futures, 45.84. We're way above that. Silver, 82.70, way above that. Bond futures are 114.09. Keep your eye on bond futures, see if they hold that low, okay? 114.17, right? That's something to watch later on today. Pretty cool stuff. But I went back to the sheet and looked at these numbers for these different futures market. I also did it for some stocks. Let's look at some stocks, Jonathan. You ought to take, matter of fact, I got to do this myself, Jonathan, while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to take pictures of this myself. This is good stuff. When it's good stuff, you see me pull my camera out, you ought to be doing the same thing. Got it. All right, let's go to the next slide, please. All right, here's the 10 tickers. Notice that the December high was 298 on Micron, and Micron right now is at 373. You think that stock's going higher this year? NVIDIA, 192, 170. NVIDIA is 180, about mid punch. Palantir, 98 to 63. It's at 71. GLD, 418. It's at 435. I'd say gold's going higher. Silver, 71.22 was its December high. That's pretty strong. QQQ, 629, 600. You're at 615, about mid-range. SPX, 69.45 or 68.61. KGC, here's another one I own. You know, I own it from about $5 a share. It's at 35. I hope you still own it from $5 a share. I never said get out of that one. 35 bucks. That's a heck of a move. PAAS, I got 58 compared to 55, and AG First Majestic is at 22, 1791. What I wanted to do is frame these looking at December. This is letting me know where to put money in 2026. Everybody understand that statement? If you don't ask it, I'll try to explain it further. But what you do, if you got a Micron breaking out this way, you check that 3-day high on Micron. Go back to Algo on Micron and see what the 3-day high was, Jonathan, on Micron for January.
Let's see here. Three-day high was 344.5 or so. 344.55.
So when it's higher than the 3-day high, right, that's breaking out in the month of January. So Micron is a solid thing I'd own stock in or options going forward because it's very bullish. That's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. Today's topic, trading after the holidays. I think you found out those trades we put in silver and metals on Friday really paid big this morning. Probably put a smile on everybody that listened. And then, of course, we met Sunday night, we met Monday night, and now we're going to be tonight with our Futures First at 7 o'clock. Trading after the holiday. Very important time to trade. ES futures are bullish today. We're just sort of sitting here cranking along. Notice my pivot number was 68.90. We're 68.93. So your first resistance be that 69.02. After you get above that, then you get to where we opened last night, 69.18. But notice that even though the market is down quite a bit, it's come off the lows and started turning to the upside, creating what? A buying opportunity to use the reference bar approach.
And we already looked at these slides here.
Yep, we did. Okay, Thursday, I'm going to do a marathon day here, January double deuce day, January 22nd. Y'all remember the marathon day we had back in December? Everybody seemed to like that, didn't they? So plan your day. Don't pop in and pop out, but we'll start 10:30 on Thursday, okay? 10:30 on Thursday. Now, I want to talk about, I'm trying to program a lot of my strategies into the Telegram channel because That way, the research is done for you. If I teach you with a couple master classes, then you can trade as much as you want to with these strategies. Everybody understand what my overall strategy I'm trying to do right now? The problem is it takes time to get it done. And let me review 4 that I've got, okay? The first one is the sunrise. Notice I have Chuck putting comments in the sunrise, okay? Remember, he's highlighting that 6902 is trying to digest the events of the long weekend. Stay tuned, see what happens is probably what I would walk away with that time in the morning. But it gives you stuff over there saying the market had already started recovering. The majority of things are green, and that green is synonymous with going higher. Early. Now, this is the big one that everybody just loves. I love it to death. In fact, I'm looking over, it's got its own real estate page. My Genesis program has my own real estate page over inside the roadmap, and it's got copper long. I'm long copper.
And this was from one day last week. So this is a little bit outdated, but one day last week.
That's fine. But it comes out with the specific details, easy to follow on a continuation day. If you trade just the continuation days on Genesis, guess what? You've made a bunch of money. A bunch of money. It's a powerful time of day. Genesis. Now, the anchor trade is a big hit. We got people here wiping that down. Now, it wasn't trading but once every 5 days. So what did I do? I studied it, and then I taught in a master class how to get a minimum of 3 trades a week out of anchor, outside that hour, that choice hour there that the computer's working. Isn't that pretty good? Huh? That's pretty good, isn't it? That's the anchor program. Automatically delivered to John, if it comes out about 12, right? Why don't you describe exactly what they should be seeing on anchor?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, let me get my marker out. This was from a different day, but we get a directional bias here, right at the very bottom that alerts you. Okay, well, should I be thinking long or short for the particular day? Then you look at this reference high and reference low, and essentially what we're looking for is just to break down below that low for bearish. And if it were to get back above the high, then obviously that would cancel out our bearish bias, right? So there would be no trade on that particular day. But that's what we're doing. We're looking at that market bias. It actually tells you the spread that if it does trigger.
And the day.
Yep. And when I took this snapshot, the trade probability was medium. It wasn't a high likelihood that it triggered. But we give you all this directional bias. We tell you, okay, how close is it? It'll say high if it's a likely probability to trade. It'll say medium if it's kind of in the middle, not really going anywhere. Don't ever see low. Don't ever see a low odds, but you usually see high or medium odds. Directional bias give you the put spread so you're ready, or call spread if it's bullish, and you're off and running. It's a very predictable trade that we found.
Let me ask the people out there, Jonathan, everybody loving this anchor like I am? Give me a yes if you are. It's great. I mean, it adds money. It adds money to your account. You got to love it. That's the anchor trade, okay?
And that's the point there, Tom, right? Of all the algos, trying to add money to your account.
Yep. And what it does is consistent, because once you learn with the master class tied into this, you got something pretty valuable here.
Yep.
A lot more than what we charge for it. I can promise you that. Yeah, you need to, Pete. Don't sit there and not make money because you haven't taken the time to watch the videos. That's what this 3-day weekend was for you to get up to speed, take advantage of all this good stuff. Quit costing you and your family money. Spend some time and study what we're giving you. That's the anchor trade. All right, folks. I don't know. Did y'all see what one of the students typed in there about this new edition, the Orion? Did y'all see what somebody had typed in there about that? Chuck, if you could repost it, it'd be great, but it was just super. This thing, or this algo, is for direction. Go figure. It had a short on Friday coming into the day. Wouldn't that be a great trade to have? High odds, quick trading opportunities. It's the Orion. I love the name. Say it with me. Orion. This is really, truly shooting for the stars with this one. This is going to become one of your favorites. Look at it, it's short and all that. Yeah, who made the 3 in a row with it? It's pretty good. It come out today and print this afternoon another one. It's a great trade. That's what I'm trying to do, is take my strategies I've used for years and have it algorized, we'll call it, okay? That's the Orion trade. Now, you can join Orion for $19.95 one-time price and be part of the people that have crossed the line and joined. I'm so confident you will love Orion that you will be part of it with me. Now, we've added some different things. Chuck, every afternoon, Tuesday through Friday, is going to do an analysis of what Orion said and what you should have got out of it that day. So we just added a whole bunch of value to it. Look for him to post that between 3 and 4 the last hour. You know, sort of a paragraph saying this is what you should have done and what it should have told you. Okay? We're increasing the knowledge and education with Orion. Get in, be part of it. If the track record continues like it is, I don't know how we can let it go lifetime for $19.95. I just don't know that, okay? So that's Orion. Any questions about Orion? What I'd like to do now, Jonathan, is play the Orion tape and let people listen to that. And I'm going to come back at 1:30 this afternoon, and we're going to do some live trading.
Sounds good. I got one queued up from Adam. We can fire it off whenever you want to.
Any questions before we go? Now's the time to ask if you got questions.